And you are live.
All right, welcome back to the House Education Committee, February 12th. And now we are welcoming the Farm to School Awareness Day here with us today. And if I could just request that if we have students willing to speak, we always love to hear students. So we very much appreciate that, but I'll turn it over to you.
Hi, my name is Dana Hudson, and I am the coordinator of the Vermont Farm to School and Early Childhood Network. My employer is Shelburne Farms, but I work for the hundreds of educators, administrators, farmers, school food service professionals, organizations, and businesses that make up our robust network. And most importantly, I really work for the thousands of young Vermont students that participate in Farm to School and Farm to Early Childhood programs. I want to thank you all for having us here today so that we can share about the impact that Farm to School and Farm to Early Childhood has on Vermonters and how it supports our schools, our farmers, our local food economy, and our communities. We are asking you to support the governor's budget proposal for both the Vermont Farm to School and Early Childhood Grant Program and the Local Food Incentive Program with a level funding base appropriations of $500,000 each. The Vermont Farm to School and Early Childhood Network was created in 2008 to address a growing movement of schools that wanted to serve local products in their cafeterias while using food and farming as an integrative education tool to address student learning and engagement. You can see what we use is a 3C model of change, which is a long-term strategy to have staying power, which connects the classroom, the cafeteria, and the community. This creates a win-win-win for students, farmers, families, and communities. Now, I've actually seen the firsthand impact of this. Both my children go to a school that have farm to school programs. They have a beehive, a chicken coop, a prolific garden, and fruit trees. And the farm to school program is woven into the school curriculum. And so every child in the building gets a chance to experience it every single year. It's just not an add-on after school. It's integrated in. In Vermont, we've invested in 3 key programs to improve student health and learning. First is a Rosa McLaughlin Farm to School. I wasn't sure if the slides were going. So there's the 3 C's, the classroom, cafeteria, and community. And you can go ahead to the next one. So you can just stay right there. What's that? Yeah. So the 3 things that we've really sort of invested in is a Rosa McLaughlin Farm to School Grant Program that started in 2006 and has served over 300 schools and early childhood programs in every county of the state. The program provides capacity building and technical assistance to schools and early childhood programs to develop and strengthen their farm to school activities. The second thing is a local food incentive program that supports increased local purchasing so that more of the $25 million that schools spend each year on food stays here in the Vermont economy and with Vermont farmers. Third is universal school meals that ensure equitable access to school meals for every student in every zip code in our state. Today, you'll hear directly from teachers, students, farmers, school food professionals. I'm sorry, we don't have any, but this group. You'll hear from teachers and students and technical assistance providers like myself on how Farm to School has made a difference. We could take some questions after each speaker. We should also have hopefully time at the end for a little discussion. But if there's any other questions that come up, I'm available to chat anytime. And so we're really looking forward to your support of full funding for both the local food incentive programs of $500,000 level base funding and the Farm to School and Early Childhood Grant Program at level base funding of $500,000. Thank you, and I'm going to let the next speakers go. So we have someone who's going to be virtual. I don't know if they've gotten on yet. If they have not, maybe we can go to the next speaker while we figure out if that student can get on. That was a student from Champlain Valley Union High School. Do we know if is she on? Okay, go to the next one. Okay, so I'm going to introduce Aziza Malik.
Hey, everyone.
Hey.
Thanks so much for having us here today.
You can bring those chairs up.
Bring those chairs up so all
Do those.
great.
I like something fun.
Right before lunch.
Bring them.
So thanks so much for having us here today. My name is Aziza Malik. I'm a 5th grade teacher at Champlain Elementary in Burlington. I'm also the 2024 Vermont State Teacher of the Year.
Boom.
Free to drop it.
As a teacher, I have the privilege of watching my students grow, not just academically, but in their connection to the world around them. One of the most magical ways this happens is through farm to school programs. Food is a powerful connector. It brings my students together, builds curiosity, and fosters a sense of pride. I've seen students who struggle to engage in traditional lessons light up when they harvest potatoes, chop vegetables for a soup, or cook a meal that they've seen in their own homes. These moments matter. They turn learning into something real and relevant. But I've also seen the other side when students come to school hungry. It's heartbreaking. No child should have to learn on an empty stomach. Farm to School ensures that our students not only have access to meals, but that those meals are nourishing, local, and meaningful. Rather than just hearing from me today, I want you to hear from my students because they are the ones truly experiencing the impact of this program.
Hello, my name is Shania O'Neill, and I'm a fifth grader at Champlain Elementary in Brooklyn. One thing I love about Farm to School is that we get to grow our own food in our school garden and then see it in the cafeteria for lunch. This year, my class harvested potatoes, and we made homemade French fries. I think the fries were very tasty, like the fries you get at a restaurant. They were so good, probably because we made them. Cooking them made me realize how simple it is to make real food, and I think it changes the way we eat. When you know where your food comes from, you think about it differently. We also cooked curry together, using a recipe developed by last year's fifth graders. It was really cool to see that a dish many students eat at home was now a part of our school meal. It made me feel like food connects all of us in a special way. I think every student should have the chance to experience that.
Hi, my name is Maddie Wegner, and I'm also a fifth grader at Champlain Elementary. Having a school garden connects us to our food in a way many kids don't get to experience. We can walk through the garden, pick fresh herbs and berries, and make what we call yum yum cracks. They taste better than candy, seriously. And they're way healthier. Wouldn't it be better if we were eating things we grew ourselves in the garden instead of Jolly Ranchers? I never thought I'd like herbal spritzers, but when we harvested different kinds of herbs and made healthy versions of soda with what we grew, I realized it was actually really good. Instead of Sprite, we made lemon bomb spritzers, delicious and healthy. I don't think I would have tried it otherwise. Because of our garden, I know how to grow food, how to cook it, and how good fresh food could taste. Every school should have that opportunity and experience.
Hi, my name is Ibrahim Mohammed, and I'm a fifth grader at Champlain Elementary. My favorite school meal is macaroni and cheese, and I think everyone should have the chance to find their favorite meal at school. Some students might not always have food at home, and school meals make a big difference. How can we learn if we're hungry? Some school meals also help us try new things. Before I had free school meals, I never regularly ate mac and cheese. Now it's my favorite. I eat it every time it's on the menu. But this isn't just any mac and cheese. Buge, Chevron Farm Cheddar, a local cheese made of Vermont dairy from a farm that practices sustainable farming. I've been able to visit Sheldon Farm to see firsthand how this cheese is made, try all the varieties, including their amazing aged cheddar. I think all students deserve free, healthy, and local meals because no one should have to worry about being hungry at school.
So you heard from my students and their stories say it all. Farm to School isn't just about food, it's about learning, connection, and ensuring that every student has access to fresh, nourishing meals. We urge you to support Farm to School and our early childhood program and the local foods incentive. These programs are changing lives and they need to continue. Thank you so much for your time and listening to the voices of our students. We really appreciate your support.
Thank you. Thank you.
You are all incredible public speakers. Much better than I am.
Practicing.
Are you available for questions now?
Oh, yes.
I have a question. Did you guys write those statements yourself?
Well, we wrote it, and then our teacher typed them in and tried to make sense of what we're saying.
But if there's,
Yeah.
And you all have probably been experienced and tried different foods due to this program that you might never have tried before.
Yeah.
What's the weirdest food?
Yum yum bags.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell them what's in there?
Yeah. It's like stevia, like it's kind of like the wrap. Inside is like mint, raspberries if raspberries are in season, sometimes blueberries, and lavender.
Yeah, lots of different, so stevia, we call it the sugar plant. That's nice.
Do you think that these experiences at school make you more likely to choose to live in a place like Vermont and grow your own food when you would grow up?
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
We're planning on hearing from.
Oh, the other person?
Yes, there's a few more.
Oh, perfect. Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, I didn't mean, I thought she was gonna talk, I didn't mean to interrupt the conversation we're having with you all.
No, you're good.
Okay.
We have somebody else that needs, that would like to speak. You're good. Don't leave.
So so as you see from the speaker list, we have a high school student who's virtual as well as a high school student who's here. We're a little off the schedule, so we can do either, whichever you.
However you all want to do it. We're
Do you have
flexible.
Okay, so let's do Yvonne, 'cause she's actually in the middle of a class, so she
Oh.
stepped away. Yvonne, if you're there? I don't know where your mic is. Is there a mic somewhere that she needs to hear from?
You can hear from the mic here.
Can someone there just say Yvonne if you're there? Get back on.
Yvonne, are you there?
Well, let's do our other speaker and hopefully she'll
Sure.
enjoy it. I'll text her and say that we're trying to get her on, so.
Hey.
Sorry, I'm not as cute as the kids.
No one is.
Don't even go there. Don't even go there.
Okay.
Your fault.
We love students of Valley.
Good morning. My name is Loretta Siebert, and I'm a senior at Montpelier High School. I'm here today to ask you to please support the Farm to School and Early Childhood Program with level funding base appropriation of $500,000 for fiscal year 2026. And also ask you to support the local food incentive program for schools at $500,000 level funding base appropriation. Farm to School initiatives make a large impact in our school. Bringing farmers, educators, and students together helps foster community connection and brings organic, healthy food to the school. The Early Childhood Program makes this food accessible to all. In the larger school community at Montpelier, the Farm to School initiatives have brought everyone together in more ways than you can imagine. We have 3 whole school meals that are focused on sustainability and using what we've grown so nothing goes to waste. Not only that, the students go out into the community and learn about the ways our food is grown, building connections and encouraging sustainable ecological practices. In my personal experience, the greenhouses and gardens supported by the Farm to School program have had a positive impact on my education. In Spanish 4, we planted and harvested potatoes while learning about their role in the history and culture of Latin America. In AP Spanish, we used the corn from the fields to learn about and participate in the process of nixtamalization to make tortillas and other corn products. And this year, in the new Spanish cooking class, La Cocina, we use the fresh vegetables from the garden to craft our various recipes and connect them to Latin American and Spanish cuisine. Food tells a story. Every ingredient comes from somewhere, and the greenhouses, gardens, beehives, and chicken coops are places for us to discover those stories. We learn how to plant and harvest fruits and vegetables, take care of chickens and use their eggs, and harvest honey. The various cooking classes at our school would not be possible without Farm to School programs. Le Bon Crêpe, La Cocina, and Cooked all teach valuable lifelong culture, business, and culinary skills. So, to close out, please support the Farm to School and Early Childhood Program with level funding base appropriation of $500,000 for fiscal year 2026, as well as the local food incentive programs for schools at $500,000 level funding base appropriation. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
You are also a very
And a member of the cast for Hadestown.
good.
Congrats.
Questions from the committee? Please comment.
Are there other classes besides the Spanish classes that use the garden
Yeah.
area? And
So like I said, all 3 of our cooking classes at the school, Le Bon Crêpe, which is the French crepe business class, they get their fruits and a lot of their toppings from the garden. La Cocina, which I mentioned, and the cooked class led by Mr. Bromley is just a purely cooking kind of skills class that uses their ingredients as well. And the gardens also are available to the science classes. So I know that in my AP biology class, we went out and looked at how
I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was something related to chemicals and heat and enzymes and how that grows plants. So they really are a valuable resource to all of our classes at the school.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Looks like Yvonne, is it Yvonne?
Yes, and I'm actually texting with her, which I don't think she's supposed to have a phone. She's sitting in class in Champlain Valley Union and she's having a lot of connectivity issues. You have her written testimony.
Yeah.
And if I can just give you I can't speak for Yvonne, but a very short synthesis of what she does, would that be okay?
Please.
Okay.
Oh, wait,
Yay, you made it. Yay, Yvonne, hello.
Hi. It's being really glitchy. I'm catching every third word. But if you can hear me, I can go right ahead.
We can hear you.
Hear you now.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. So I start when I'm ready.
Go ahead, yes. Say your name, full name.
Hi, my name is Yvonne Meisler. I'm an 11th grader at Valley Union High School. As the daughter of a conservationist, I've been raised in a household concerned about climate change and the state of the planet we live on. I mean it when I say I don't feel like anything I was doing was making a difference, or and I felt like I didn't have any that understood me until I joined Farm to School and dove into planning Feast. Feast, which stands for Food Education and Sustainable Thinking, is a program led by high school students for high school students, and is truly unlike anything I've ever had the opportunity to be involved in. In Feast, you're given the option to help plan the event itself with a team of other students, lead workshops, or experience the events as an attendee. As a member of the planning committee, I can say that the feedback from 2024 was overwhelmingly positive. I was not alone in this. Student participants said it gave them ideas to implement into their own FTS programs for Farm to School. Adults who were engaged in this also said they found Feast to be inspiring. What's so important about Feast is that it's truly a student initiative. Never in any other setting have I had my opinion listened to as much and hold so much weight in the process of decision-making and planning. This really has made this event unique and has felt like something my team and I co-created and could all be proud of. And that's really a special experience. Because we all felt like we shared the final say when it came to problem solving, and that's something I never would have been able to do in school. What I realized is that change starts with community, and being involved in Feast has introduced me to really incredible people, both students and adults, whom I would consider genuine friends and who have helped me reach the place I'm in today with my school's Farm to School program. Since Feast 2024, we've started a farm stand bringing produce to real families, made connections beyond that of our school, and kickstarted a mission educating other youth across Vermont on the importance of sustainable agriculture in fighting climate change. Our farm program. More than anything, though, Feast has allowed me to build relationships with people I never would have known and taught me skills I never would have learned in school. I learned leadership in student meetings, grown comfortable with speaking my mind on a Zoom room full of strangers like I am today, and navigated the logistics of managing a real event while problem-solving obstacles in person. The reality is that Feast is so much more than just a conference for high schoolers. It's a rare opportunity for like-minded youth to build real connections, working together to pursue topics in the real world that they're passionate about. In closing, thanks to this Farm to School Vision Grant, Feast has brought me and so many others a unique community, real-world experiences in planning, hosting, and budgeting, skills in communicating with peers and adults, and feeling like I'm making a difference for others in Vermont by providing such a unique and valuable space for the Farm to School initiative and community to grow. So thank you.
Thank you very much. You started off and you thought you were a little glitchy, but on our side, we heard you perfectly clear and you did a great job. Are there any questions from the committee, comments from the committee? Okay.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you all very much for coming in. This was a great way to go off for lunch.
We do have, I don't know if we have time, we have one more person on our list of speakers, and those are all our students.
Okay, perfect.
So Connor, do you have them? And I did want to leave, you want to take the.
That's around.
Yeah. And there are the handouts they haven't gotten. Thank you. Those are the handouts that they were sent ahead of time, if anyone needs another copy.
Thank you.
Good morning. For the record, my name is Connor Floyd. I'm the Grants Program Manager at the Agency of Education. And so I manage the local foods incentive. We submitted about a week ago our annual report. If you haven't had the time to look at it, I'm just going to provide some of those highlights. So a brief overview, the local foods incentive has a $500,000 annual appropriation. If grant awards don't hit that amount, $500,000, whatever's left just goes back to the state. So the local foods incentive is broken into these two different grant tracks. There's the baseline year, which every school food authority can apply to once, and that's meant to be an on-ramp. So there's no purchasing requirement for that first year. Whenever a school food authority becomes interested in engaging the local foods incentive, they'll do that first. We have a really simple application that's really set up to give them the tools to start shifting their purchasing. They also receive a 15 cents per lunch served grant award with that baseline year grant that gives them some of that initial capital to start making those local purchases. Once they've applied to that, every year thereafter, they're eligible to apply for a subsequent year grant award. And that's where you start needing to hit that at least 15% purchasing threshold. So there's 3 tiers to the grant award or to the grant program. That's 15%, 20%, 25%, and there's a 15 cents, 20 cents, 25 cent per lunch served grant award associated with those tiers. That really makes up the bulk of the grant program. Eventually, all schools interested will have applied to the baseline year, and we'll really just be talking about the subsequent year grant awards. So for this year's report, I really focused on 4 main kind of numbers or themes that we found. First, subsequent year grantees doubled, right? So in the previous year, we had 6 school food authorities that hit at least 15% local purchasing. We're up to 12 this year. So we saw a growth with the grantees, and there is some additional diversity in terms of those school food authorities that received the grant award. We saw a broader range of free and reduced eligible percent schools engaging with the program. With that being said, there is a third of all school food authorities in the state still haven't engaged at all with the local foods incentive. And so the baseline year grant, it's really frankly pretty easy to get that initial award. And you can get that initial award and then never apply again, right? You're not committing to anything by applying. We're continuing to work on outreach to those schools to get them interested. I think some are just really hesitant to kind of, even though there isn't that commitment, I think they may perceive that there's some kind of commitment there. But it also means that 2/3 of all school food authorities have at least applied for that baseline year grant. And we are seeing other schools submit purchasing numbers, even if they're not getting that 15% grant award, which is really useful for us. Thirdly, we're seeing increased grant funding going out the door. So it was kind of declining year after year for a little bit. And that was really because as those baseline years grants were sent out, it's much harder to get a subsequent year grant award. So this is the first year that we saw that uptick, and that's largely because of that doubling of subsequent year grantees to 12. And in total, there was $384,818 that went out in grant awards. And then lastly, generally speaking, we're seeing that for every $1 of grant funding that's sent to those subsequent year grantees, that's representing $3 of Vermont local purchasing that they're doing to get that grant award. So broadly speaking, we kind of think of it now as that there's that 3-to-1 investment. I'll leave it there. I'm happy to answer any questions that folks may have.
Anything from the committee?
I'm gonna love to digest.
Yeah, no, thank you all for coming in and
Thank you for that.
telling us about the program. Appreciate it.
Thanks, kids.